What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here's Legitical Response. I cover political news constantly, and there's something, we got an update to a story we haven't talked about in a while, so we're going to go ahead and hit that pretty hard. We haven't talked about Fani Willis in a good little while, but there's been a story that has been brewing in the background that I wanted to bring to the front ground, if you will. Judge won't block Georgia prosecutor disciplinary body that Democrats fear is aimed at Fani Willis. That is right. We saw some hearings a while back when the whole Fani Willis fiasco was going on, that all the malfeasance of that case with Nathan Wade and all that BS that was going on. Yeah, they put together a board to go after rogue prosecutors who fail to prosecute crimes. A lot of Democrats fear that that disciplinary body is going to go after Fani Willis, which they almost certainly will, because yeah, there's a lot of malfeasance going on right there. Yeah, a lot of underhanded stuff. They should have been kicked off of that case, but the judge, as we know, kept them on, had to split the baby, if you will. Either she had to go or he had to go, and guess what? It was him because she's the prosecutor. But let's get into this story because this is quite interesting. And yeah, we're going to see. A Georgia judge has denied a preliminary challenge to block a commission created to discipline and remove state prosecutors, finding that it doesn't violate the U.S. or state constitution. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker on Tuesday rejected the request for an injunction against Georgia's Prosecuting Attorneys Qualifications Commission, which Republican lawmakers revived this year after creating it in 2023. Democrats fear the commission has one primary goal: derailing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's prosecution of former President Donald Trump. Republicans, though, say it is needed to discipline so-called rogue prosecutors who are refusing to enforce laws. Republican Governor Brian Kemp signed legislation last year creating the commission, but it couldn't begin operating because the state Supreme Court refused to approve rules governing its conduct. The justices said they had grave doubts about the high court's ability to regulate the decisions made by district attorneys. The prosecutors say the law violates Georgia's constitutional separation of powers by requiring district attorneys to review every single case on its individual merits. District attorneys argue that they should be able to reject prosecution of whole categories of crimes as a matter of policy. What? So Okay, so a lot of these Soros-backed DAs, we know for a fact that they're refusing to prosecute crimes, right? Well, you got this whole thing called prosecutorial discretion, right? That was pretty much meant for, if you've got somebody with a gang of crimes, like a whole bunch of charges, for them to be able to say, okay, well, let's knock this down. Let's go after them on just the main charges, and let's get rid of the rest of this BS because it's just, low-hanging fruit or whatever. That's what prosecutorial discretion is meant for. But some of these Soros-backed DAs have taken it, twisted it around, like I always talk about how the Democrats, they love to twist things around. So they're using this to just not prosecute people just outright. Just say, no, we're just not going to prosecute these people for whatever. And it's absolutely insane to me that you would have prosecutors that are there to prosecute criminals because we don't like criminals very much, that they're just not going to prosecute these people. And we've seen this all over the country, and it's getting outright to insane levels where you've got rampant crime, it's not being reported, and the corporate press, they just latch onto this and say, oh, look, crime is at historic lows. As a matter of fact, it's not. And it's because these prosecutors are refusing to prosecute people. It's insane. But Whitaker found that the requirement that every case be reviewed does not meaningfully impair prosecutorial discretion, as I just explained. She was also skeptical of the claim that state lawmakers are improperly intruding on the judicial branch by regulating prosecutors. Because the Georgia Constitution expressly authorizes the General Assembly to impose statutory duties on district attorneys and to create the grounds and process to discipline or remove district attorneys, there is no violation of the state's Constitution separation of powers clause, Whitaker wrote. Whitaker also said she was likely to reject a claim that the commission had improperly adopted its rules. State Senate President Pro Temp John Kennedy, a Macon Republican who has supported the law, called on the district attorneys to drop their case after their preliminary loss. To continue this challenge is an injustice to crime victims in our communities, as well as to Georgia taxpayers having to shoulder the expense of this frivolous case, Kennedy said in a statement. This is the second time these plaintiff prosecutors have failed in court to block the law. Maybe it's time to realize that they have a losing argument. That is right, they do have a losing argument, because you can't just go and not prosecute crime. It's going to incite more crime. I don't see how the Democrats don't see this, but obviously they don't. They don't seem to care whatsoever. Of course, prosecutors don't want a disciplinary board coming after them, and I wonder why that would be. Because they can just get away with whatever the hell they want to. It's just insane to me to think that these people don't want to prosecute crimes. Why would you not want to do that? What are the excuses? Give me some good logical reasoning behind why you just refuse to prosecute certain folks. And it's also insane to me that they're using taxpayer dollars to fight this out in court. Like, what? Like, how about put that to a vote? You are the party of democracy, aren't you? Hey, how about let's put this to a vote and see if the taxpayers are willing to pay for you to fight against a disciplinary board. Yeah, I don't think that would go over too well with the citizenry, if you ask me. But, I'm just one dude. What the hell do I know? And maybe now that all this is going through, maybe we'll see this disciplinary board actually go after Fani Willis and get Fani Willis off of this case, because you can't just do what she did, right? You're prosecuting Donald Trump for no reason, right? They call it the fake electors case, which is outright BS. Those electors were only put there in case he won his court cases. They were never certified. They were never going to be certified unless he won those court cases. So I don't get the argument here. I don't understand what's going on. And as a matter of fact, the whole thing with Mike Pence and the January 6th BS, right? Like, some of the state legislatures didn't approve. They were still contesting the electors that were sent in by some of these governors, right? They were still disputed. So the fact that they sent them in anyway, even though they were still in dispute, there were still challenges going on. They sent those electors in. Donald Trump had every right to tell Mike Pence not to certify those electors. I'm sorry. That is just how the law works. You can make whatever arguments you want to, but that is how the law works. And they're getting all bent out of shape over it just because it is never done. Well, we've never had so much cheating going on in a damn election. We all know about the shadow campaign. I've covered that here on the channel, and I've talked about it several times. They went and changed the rules and changed the laws around voting and pretty much pulled the rug out from underneath Republicans. Didn't tell Republicans that they changed the rules and laws around ballot harvesting and all this other garbage that is absolutely cheating. With the universal mail-in ballots and the drop boxes, and it was a whole thing. If you don't know about it, go check my video out. As a matter of fact, it is located right here at the bottom of every video. If you click it somewhere in this general vicinity, you'll see it. I would suggest to everybody to go watch that video. It's very important. It tells us exactly how the Democrats won and exactly why they cheated, and why Republicans and why Donald Trump specifically called it fraud. That's what he called it. It wasn't definitionally fraud, but it was a fraudulent way of going about winning an election. They pretty much got away with, having two candidates fight over, who has the best argument. That's generally what campaigns are, political campaigns. These two people, they propose the argument, and then the voters figure out who the hell they want. Whoever wins the argument pretty much wins the election. Well, that is no longer, folks. Democrats have decided that they can't win on the merits anymore. They have to just go and get out pieces of paper. And that's what Democrats did in 2020. They changed the rules and changed the laws to where they could get more pieces of paper to win that election. That's what they did. That's how they cheated. And that's my opinion on that. And that's all I got for this one. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Do you think this disciplinary board is going to go after Fani Willis? Or is it just to go after some of these Soros-backed rogue prosecutors that refuse to prosecute crime? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. And stay legitical. Peace.